All right,
All right.
everybody. Welcome to another episode of the ICCN Podcast. Today we have Kinky Santa and Andrew up here and ready to talk to us. So appreciate you guys coming together today, taking the time
Hello,
out of your
hello.
day. Thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how are
Yeah.
you guys doing today? Let's start off with that. How we doing?
Miss Andrew, would
Here
you
it's
like to start off things?
mm-hmm. I'm doing very well. Just before munching on some blueberries straight from the forest we picked yesterday. I was smoking on some eucalyptus, really just activating, even though it's gloomy, feel great. So and
Nice,
excited to be here as well. How about you, Kinky?
I'm good. Same old, same old. If anything, in the midst of like just pushing through, life's just happening. Country's going through somewhat of a revolution-ish. So yeah, I'm just taking it all in. But other than that, still pushing, still alive, still 10 toes down. So I'm good. Nothing much.
Mm-hmm.
awesome, bro. Yeah, I mean, can't really uh you know ask much more. I mean, other than you're here, still grinding, still with us.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm
But
actually
yeah,
gonna be
just talk to it.
smoking on some oh man. I met up with I don't know if you guys know I've seen Blitzen in the group.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Um actually
Only
had
the
the
chat.
yeah. Well, I was
I don't
grateful
know who
enough
he
to what was that?
I haven't seen any of his like accounts. Like find it hard to. Haven't found it on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't know if he has any accounts or anything like that. If he does, I'll definitely give him a shout
Mm.
out. But he hooked me up with some actually some with some cherry cola skunk haze seeds, and then
Oh,
also
right.
yeah, no, I'm excited about that. And then
Mm.
uh he gave me some Storm Shadow. That's what I'm gonna be smoking on, and it looks great.
Okay.
Fucking smokes great. I'm not. I think it's Irie from Irie
Oh,
Genetics.
oh, dude, fun
Mm.
fact. No, fun fact, sorry. Funny enough, I actually know Rasta Jeff. Not on a personal basis, but maybe I can say I did, because there was a while we were all on like a Zoom thingy, like I said before. And yeah, he's a sound dude, great breeder. But yeah, people keep talking good about his stuff, his genetics, if anything. So that's kind of cool that it's come full circle that way.
Yeah, it is, bro. It is. And so you were you saying like Rasta Jeff is he behind Irie
Yeah, yeah,
Genetics?
Rasta Jeff's Ivory Genetics,
Oh,
his
cool.
YouTube's Grow From Your Heart podcast. That's like quite consistent and whatever. Like he's just a one man army behind that thingy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's smells pretty damn funky, and I mean, it gets the job done. That's for damn sure. So I wouldn't
Is it
mind
a
grow.
sativa? Is it a sativa kind of like leaning, looking bud
Yeah,
of smoke?
yeah. I looked up the lineage. I know it's got some White Widow in it. And
Oh, blessed! You're blessed today, bro. White Widow is
Oh, nice.
yeah.
yeah,
I'm a big
growing
fan
up,
of white.
whenever me and my dad were first starting to grow, and I was trying to, at that point we could only order seeds from out of state, so what to order. And he's like, he was set on growing some White Widow or
Mm.
some Northern Lights. Those are his two favorites, and so it does have a special place in my heart for sure.
Mhm.
Mm. What
White
was the
White
name again?
Rhino is actually a
So saying what was the name again?
Oh, fuck. I think it's Storm Shadow.
Oh, Storm
mhm.
Shadow. Cool. I'll just keep that
Yeah.
down. So nice.
White Rhino is actually another fire genetic from that lineage. Like I've had some White Rhino before. Shit was
Yeah,
poppers.
Right, right. No, was the shit when like back in 2007 in UK, one of the first like yeah, yeah.
Oh, Andrew, actually, I got some White Rhino in 2023 or 2024. So, if anything, it's probably
Yeah,
not going to be as great as what you've had, but I still got something that was decent, I could say.
nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. White Rhino definitely is like beyond time. It would be good.
Awesome, guys. Well, I guess we can kind of start off with that seed ban that we were talking about. And I know you're kind of wanting to understand a little bit more of kind of what it means and everything, Kinky. And so basically,
Mm,
whenever I looked into it and deep dived into it with AI and shit, so what it really means is so what they did was they redefined what counts as hemp and what counts as
yeah,
marijuana at the seed level. So
yeah.
that is closing that legal gray area that we have been, that um
Souvenir kind of, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
bird seed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
but a lot of people didn't realize like you know, before any of this new voting with the 2018 Farm Bill Act, everything lower than 0.3% THC was considered legal. So that's why seeds were considered legal, and now you got this THCA bud that is technically working in that gray area, um, and they're able to get
Yeah.
away with that. But they're really just trying to um, you know, get control over all that in the market, because if you think about it, um, there's all these people that are trying to have licenses over lineages, and like it's
Wow.
just trying to be controlled on a lot of different levels, and um, but anyway, so to kind of get a better idea of like how the seeds are judged. So after November 12th of 2026, the seeds
Mm,
are judged by their genetic potential, not not their chemical content. So if the mother plant produces more than
yeah.
0.3% total THC, including THCA, of course they, had to put that in there. Her seeds are no longer hemp. Those seeds become a Schedule 3 controlled substance like ketamine, testosterone,
Hmm.
and other shit. So, um, it's just really crazy to see this being kind of slipped into the back door, while
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everyone's
Exactly.
kind of focused on, oh, it's legal federally, finally, finally. Well, maybe you should read up a little bit more because technically it's always been legal. If you would have read the bill from 2018, you know,
Hmm.
and but
Uh, I'd like to
that's
jump in and play devil's advocate and be like, I feel like there might be some good in there, but at the same time, it's gonna fuck people over in a very big way, regardless. But at the same time, like if you think about it in the traditional agricultural standpoint, I think that's the way they've been going about it for like traditional agricultural crops like barley, wheat, and stuff like that. Like they're mainly judging the benefits of those plants and the seeds provided by from the mother plants that they come from, right? So wouldn't that be a good thing, or like uh, I feel like they're doing it mainly for the profit and they want to control things, which is clearly
Hmm.
like easily understandable from anyone's perspective. But I feel like there's also somewhat good to it, but in the perspective of cannabis, I feel like it's a very big detriment for all the people in the industry, black market, gray market, or wherever, I feel.
yeah. I mean,
Mm.
it does kind of create a new. I don't know. I don't want to say a new war on drugs, but it does kind of create that new tension, especially with because I did, like I said, I worked in a dispensary and at one point, and I would have
Mm.
patients come up to me, older, younger, asking me like where they could get seeds, and um, and obviously some of these people are still very like low key because of the things that they've been
The
through
war
with
on
the
drugs.
law and everything.
Yeah.
So now it just brings more fear into those that are wanting to. I feel like in some aspects it
Yeah.
brings more fear to those that,
Hmm.
are just trying to get seeds. And that could also mean like, are my seeds gonna get caught up? Like, are we not gonna be able to send seeds out and get seeds into the States or like, you know, because that's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty big. If I can't get any, if it's going to be harder
Hey,
for me to bring any genetic difference from outside the states, and vice versa.
if it goes through, bro, at the end of the day, we still got buttholes, bro. We can still smuggle it in that way, you know? It's gonna be the
Yeah.
last place they check.
Yeah, like
Oh man.
what Blue was saying before with that, like it makes him happy because it just basically exposes all the bullshit, like with some of that stuff, and and sort of cancels out all the, sort of in between. It's either black or white. If you were gonna continue, you're gonna have to do it like underground and stuff. Uh, and how like it just cancels all the, all the bullshitters and
Yeah. I mean,
because they're
and
exposed for what they really in there for. But yeah, just because it's speaking from the perspective of like being outside of it, like outside of US where it doesn't really affect you. That would be my my standpoint. Whereas like because I'm doing it, not
yeah,
legally
bro.
anyway.
And I totally see that because, like, if we did have big, big breeders up to no good, they know what they're doing, as far as just like pushing shit product and all that, and
Yeah,
over homogenous strains and shit. I can see, this whenever this takes into effect, it will filter out, people like that and not um and so there
mm,
is that pro to the whole aspect of it whenever it comes to like
yeah,
looking at like the gene pool and like what's it gonna do for it. So like um yeah, man, I
yeah.
mean
I know what you mean
it's
with
it's
like
just
just
not
making
fair.
things more complicated and. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like
Isn't that the funny
basically
thing
they
though?
they
Because when
refined their. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're just gonna say they refined their just measure of how they're gonna control it and got it all together and then now you know, sneaking
Yeah.
it through
but
and yeah.
that's the funny thing because I feel like no matter how much they try to control something, like especially with cannabis, the more you try to restrict it or demonize it, the more
Yeah, yeah,
better it becomes. Because, for example, I'll give you the biggest example, which I don't think people have realized
yeah.
is the war on
We've
drugs
mentioned this
in
before as well, right?
yeah, the war on
Yeah.
drugs made cannabis stronger or better or standardized it or made it produce consistently. And the more
I mean,
you
yeah,
kind of
with like
like,
how Old Timer was all clandestine. If he wasn't so clandestine, then yeah, you know what I mean?
yeah, no, no, especially with America, America really did a lot to, what do you say, contribute towards the modern cannabis gene pool in good or bad ways. But like, for example, OG Kush, all these things, they all came about when people were being persecuted, yeah, at a very, very high level.
Hmm.
And now it's brought
Mm,
about whatever we have today. So the more they try to fuck with us, the more we can fuck with them back. And the more it's going to make it hard for them to find out or catch us or whatever, doing whatever, whether it's an illegal or illegal market. Like, it's just going to make it tough for us, but also tougher for them at the end of the day. And these people in power, they should just realize it that it's a fucking losing battle. You're fighting against a living plant that has no brain cells, no stem, what do you call it,
Yeah,
spine, and nothing, but it's still
yeah.
finding ways to like overcome it, which is kind of like a funny ass thing, bro.
Yeah, bro. And
It's very, that is so true.
mm-hmm. Yep. And like another thought that comes to mind is like, okay, so all these dispensaries are, you know, following or have their nose up the government's ass, when it comes to whatever, they're pushing and like, following the guidelines and whatever you want to call it. But like, are they gonna sit back and be like, okay, well, I mean, there's there's possibilities of seeds winding up in your bud. That's just what happens. I mean, so
Mm.
if a seed pops out, like, okay, let's just say let's take this kind of to the extreme. If we got a 65-year-old vet that went to the dispensary, bought flour, he breaks it down, seed pops out. Oh, now he's got a Schedule 3 that he can get charged with, which is some bullshit, you know? Whenever he just got it from the dispensary, and then what are the dispensaries going to be acknowledging the fact that they're selling, you know, a Schedule 3 because like it's it can be very petty like um
Yeah.
whenever it gets down to the nitty-gritty like that, but I'm not
It
saying it will happen, but I'm saying that it definitely could be a possibility.
tripped me out listening to that because, I've been staying away from basically all of it. I've been, yeah, a deep, deep topic, but the last 10 years, let's say, I'm getting more and more sort of away from it all. And listening to how, like, for example, yeah, how when the more you're trying to follow, it's a catch-22, the more you're trying to follow all the rules and regulations of the system, and the more it's going, off, um, yeah, the more it's getting corrupt. You just end up in this catch-22 where, like, with this kind of situation you described, um, there was no other way if you ended up in, yeah, without realizing, it just happened, and now you're technically a criminal, and it's like, yeah, even if no one would find out, you know, that's still it's still all in, like, your head. You know what I mean? Um when you need to follow, yeah. It's a deep, deep topic with, like, um the conditioning, social conditioning. Like, we have to be part of, like, this social structure, mentally. We need to be part of it, but how these days, like, it's just making us, so much the more
Harder.
dysfunctional, or, like, mm, yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
bro.
you
Nah,
I
I
know,
don't
get
know if
you.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but you know
I'm
what I
s-
mean? That
I'm
catch
smelling
22 situation.
I'm smelling what you're stepping in, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's where the more you try to follow the system, the more you agree to it, then the more you'll catch yourself out, like, in the long run, when they just start to go crazy and implement all this crazy shit. It's like you're
Mhm.
gonna just end up, yeah, going sick with it. hmm But
If
yeah,
if if anything, I'd like to butt in by saying with the whole seed ban, whatever. I don't know if you guys realize it, but Mrs. Smith, you actually uh, talked about something which could somehow fix the issue of the whole seed ban. You mentioned that what if somebody gets a little bit of seeds with the bud that they buy? Okay. Just so you
hmm
guys are aware, some of the best methods for storing seeds for long-term viability without doing much effort is to leave the seeds inside the fucking weed, inside the bud, and it will store for even longer than anything humans can do. Like whatever we can
Mm,
do, the plant can do it 10 times better. And there are
mm,
breeders and growers within Jamaica and certain countries in the Caribbean who store seeds within the plant and they just leave it inside a fucking shack, not protected, probably just hanging off the plant. And they could pick out the seeds like years later, maybe a decade later, and the seeds would pop with no fucking issue, and no like fucking like germ rates would be absolutely 100% without no hindrances. And that's one thing we should be
mm.
aware of. Like it's the best way to store seeds is within the plant. And lastly, that's like another loophole we can probably exploit. I'm not saying we should, but it is something that is plausible where if we can't sell seeds now, just if we can still sell weed and buy weed legally, why not send like out of like an ounce of weed you're sending towards somebody, say that yeah, you're getting an ounce, but like 5 to 6 grams of that ounce is going to be seeded, just 5 to 6 grams. And either we mention it to the people buying, like warn them beforehand, or don't warn them beforehand, but then they're going to get a little bit of weed, which is like sense media, and then a little bit is going to have seeds in it. So that way, if they choose or if they like the fucking plant that they're smoking on, they can go like, yeah, I like this plant and it came with a little bit of seeds. So now I can grow it.
You
But
know,
that
that that is
It's like
genius, bro.
utopian,
And if
utopian
and
scenarios.
that's
Yeah.
that's honestly, yeah, genius, and it's a perfect example of the people that pass these bills, how smart they and knowledgeable they really are because they aren't thinking about stuff like this. Um and like if you look at least a lot of the laws that I start to really deep dive in, there's always some sort of loophole, bro. And like
Yeah, yeah.
and you
hey,
know
if there is no loopholes, bro, it's basically prison. There's got to be loopholes in it. Like
well, and they
if
they
it's
know they put loopholes in there so that they can extract from it, or benefit from it, or how exploit it, how whatever you want to say, call it. So like
Yeah,
with certain things, I'm not going to say every single, but you'll notice that you can connect the dots whenever you start taking a step back while looking at all that, deep diving on stuff like that. You know, Um, kind of back to you mentioned something, Andrew, following the laws
mm,
and getting more pushback, bro.
mm,
And I think that's a statement that can resonate with a lot of us. And,
mm,
I was checking out, um, this, this video on YouTube the other day while I was working and came across this channel called Cannabis, and she had
okay.
uh, an episode up there about the seed ban law, and she had a hemp breeder named Jim Riddle. So a shout out to both of those guys if you guys do listen to this because that was a really good episode and really is eye opening to those that don't really understand like the Jim Riddle. He goes into how he is trying to operate legally, especially while this is coming up and what he
Yeah,
plans on doing. But like, and he knows people. He said that he's got people that are obviously like, oh, we're just gonna, still do it anyway, regardless illegally. But like, he's still trying to work within the system. So I give him, you know, I mean, props for that. And, got to respect that. And, um, but it's just, he just sounds like it's just so hard for him to, do the things that he wants to because of how, you know, regulated things are, the laws that are on top of him and changing. So like, yeah, it's that was a good uh yeah, following the laws and getting more pushback for sure.
If
definitely.
anything, it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
funny because it's kind
You
of
know.
funny because what is this? There's this hemp grower breeder. I don't know what the fuck he is, bro. But there's this dude on YouTube. He's in Texas, and I think in Texas it's illegal. But the dude's just constantly putting out videos and showing his grows, and he's doing it outdoor, indoor. He's got a license, and he's growing like strains which I feel like are traditionally for the medical and recreational market, but he's calling it all CBD or hemp, which I feel like is just a legal way of like, yeah, don't come after me. It's all fucking CBD, so fuck yourselves. But the dude's always talking about how the shit's hitting the fan, but he's just constantly just always just growing and always
Mhm.
putting out plants and always putting out whatever, harvesting. And I just don't get it. Like, yeah, it's illegal or it's legal, but you're still doing it. And you also got video evidence of you doing it online, but nothing's happening to you. Like, what the fuck?
I hear that a lot of people are reporting stuff and all that, but like if he can keep his stuff up, and all that, then
Is
you
it
said this.
actually legal in Texas though? Is it? Like,
Well,
I don't know about the
actually,
whole.
whenever, funny enough, bro, oh, this is gonna be a great story. So, me and my wife, we went on our honeymoon down there in South Padre, Texas. It's an island
Mhm.
down there. I never knew Texas had an island, and I'm like, whoa, okay. So we go down there, and yeah, we end up renting a golf cart. I'm driving this golf cart down the street, and this dude on a street bike pulls up next to me and my wife. He's like, "Yo, you want to buy a bike?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You want to buy a bike? You look good on this thing." I'm like, no, bro, I'm good. Shit, I mean, and his light turns green. He goes, and then my light goes, and I'm like, "Babe, keep an eye on him. Hold on, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go find him and ask him if he's got any bud on him." So we find him, and he's getting off his street bike. I'm like, "Hey, bro, you know, anyway, you can get me like, some tree, some that's some bud,
Mhm.
and uh, yeah, he ends up getting me like an eighth. And I tell you what, being down there next to the ocean, I don't know if it was like because I haven't really been next to the ocean at nighttime. But like whenever I smoked that shit, it felt like that ocean was ready to just like suck me in or something like that, bro. I'm like, I can only imagine what a hurricane would be like right now. The force of this ocean is just like crazy.
Mm.
And like,
You
it,
do know that sometimes when you smoke cannabis in an area that you're not comfortable or you usually visiting, it kind of gets you higher or like you feel like you're higher or you feel like you're smoking weed for the first time all over again. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that. I felt like it was some kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
bullshit, but there's some truth to it, I feel. I feel.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. I feel like that. Like only one time, walked into an ocean after being really stoned, like quite high waves and stuff, and it was really something else. Like definitely gonna remember it for a long time.
And
man,
also, Mr. Smith, I just got to say something, bro. Texas is a huge fucking state, bro. Like, you can fit the whole of the UK inside Texas and still have space for like two, three other countries from Europe. It's a
oh wow.
Yeah,
huge
yeah, yeah.
fucking state, bro. Yeah. So there's
Uh,
bound to be like oceans or maybe a lake or something. I don't know. Just kind of makes sense with that much land.
yeah. Oh, well,
And
yeah. I mean, you were asking if it was still illegal down there. Yeah, anyway,
mm,
well, yes, it was federally illegal, and like there were patrol officers like going up and down the beaches because I guess we're like right up against the border or something like that. So
Oh,
like,
gee.
yeah, it was sketch, but worth it.
yo, if anything, I'm actually surprised that you came by an ocean in Texas because when I think of Texas, I just think of like the stereotypical cowboys and the shit that we see in the movies. Like that's what I was thinking. Like I'm actually quite like shocked that there's a fucking ocean somewhere in Texas or whatever.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was too. I was too. Oh, and uh, so you were talking about hemp a hemp farmer, right, Kinky?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so then that made me think about this that one topic that you were thinking about, like how um how we look at the plant. Some people look at the plant as like just a medicine, or should we look at it like, or should we look at it like a plant, or like I don't know.
A
If
simple plant, bro. A simple plant, nothing more. Like it's just a plant that just grows anywhere, everywhere in the world. Like we got grass, we've got dandelions, we got all this shit. We don't really look at it and go
Exactly.
like, yo, it's a big crime, or it's a fucking narcotic, or it's a
Yeah.
deliriant or hallucinogenic, whatever. Like, you know how
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
fucking like we don't really need to give it importance just because it's medicinal. Like it's a living
Yeah.
thing. And I feel like, especially within India, it's actually indigenous to where we are. Like this shit is a part of our ecosystem, culture, and
Yeah.
biodiversity. If you cut one small part out of that loop, you're fucking with shit that's going to affect us in the long term. And I'll give you a great example. Mosquitoes and
Mm-hmm.
cockroaches
Mm-hmm.
are hated by people all over the world. And I can completely support the thing to like eradicate cockroaches, especially mosquitoes and cockroaches, from the entire world, and I would be happier for it. But that being said, I still think, as a person who loves nature and biodiversity and animals and plants and all that crap, I feel like we'd be doing more harm to the world and the environment and
Yeah.
nature rather than, like
Exactly.
helping us for whatever trivial needs humanity thinks is important, I feel.
Yeah.
yeah, bro.
Definitely.
And I mean, I can definitely agree with that. Also, with a sense of like, I feel like, you know, you got different spectrums of the plant. I'm gonna kind of this is how I'm kind of looking at it in my head. You got the hemp spectrum.
Mm.
You got, the and of people using it for fibrous, stuff and like clothing and all that good stuff. That whole
Yeah.
side of the industry. Then you got the
The
whole other side of the plant that comes with the flower, and then you got like the medicinal that goes into the flower. You got the um aspects of it.
See.
You got all this other stuff in these spectrums, but overall, the overall spectrum is comes down to one plant, you know.
mm-hmm.
Um,
And if anything, the hemp side of things is so fucking actually like beneficial and multi-purpose that even if you're not
Yeah.
making money as a government or society from the narcotic or medicinal or recreational part of it, you can still make a fuckload of money from the fiber, from the clothing, from the
Yeah.
textiles to the fucking
the
like
hempcrete,
in India they actually like
Yeah.
the medicinal side
Hempcrete.
of things
Exactly.
the in India, the medicinal side of things or the hemp side of things is taken a step ahead, and they've actually gone ahead and started giving out licenses to people within certain states. Okay, and
Mm.
they started making sanitary pads for women out of hemp, which is like I've never heard of that, but that shit is genius. See, like it's a
Yeah.
good kind of genius, but at the same time they've got restrictions to it. So you've got to have like uh, for a license per year, you got to pay almost $2,000 per year to get the license, and then you need to have 3 acres of land to produce that stuff. So when you've set up these kind of limitations within the market, you're intentionally cutting out the traditional legacy growers that have been growing this for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And now you're only opening the market up for big, big businesses and big money people who are just going to come in for the profit and the money side of things, but they don't really give a fuck about the medicinal or the industrial use of it, which is kind of like fuck all. But at least they're making sanitary
Yeah.
pads. So win-win. Yay.
yeah,
But
and
yeah,
that's
and that's that's the part. Sorry to just like
No,
interrupt.
go ahead, Andrew.
That's the part I was that fills in what I was saying before as well. That the more you focus on that, on these regulations, I feel it's the more you're just being drawn away from the actual mundane, like actual living, everyday living part of cultivating or whatever this plant is, like how useful it can be, like the more like discerning kind of mindset rather
Hmm.
than just following, or it's like people in the village and every one like for example talk about being a vegetarian or a vegan, like at least where I'm from, people in the village, it's like it just doesn't register because you there is no big ag and everything. You just have your own homestead, your cow, your something. You're gonna have each each bit of like respect for this animal's life, uh, and same here. You're gonna have all the values, that the most important values, attributed to this, and that's going to be your whole mindset. And that's, I think, like that's what I was getting at, that part where it becomes not what it should be, like it's being drawn more and more away, in our mind into what it should
Hmm.
be, and it's like that's part of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
So yeah, quite deep.
yeah. No, it definitely goes hand in hand. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
We just it's very important that we're losing it all now, and that's why it's even the more important, like that conversation.
If
Yeah.
anything, I'd like to just jump in and say one small thing that it just clicked within me with the whole seed ban
Mm,
thing. If America goes
mm,
ahead and does what it's going to do right now, it's a big bad thing for America. That's a given. But at the end of the day, it might lead to something better. And the better thing being that America kind of like dictates and controls the path forward when it comes to the recreational and medicinal market, when it comes to like what's hype and what's not. And if this seed ban happens, it's just going to make it harder for the rest of the world to copy or play catch up with like what's the new gelato, what's the new toad venom, what's
mm,
the new yeah, whatever. And it's either going to force them to like put more money into just getting seeds from point A to point B, or it's going to push people to go like, look, we can't fucking depend on America to get seeds anymore. Let's just do it ourselves. So it's either going to get around the whole bottlenecking that's happening within America, which controls the rest of the world,
mm,
or it's going to lead to more diversity happening, because we still got Thailand, we still got Amsterdam, and we've still got the rest of
mm-hmm.
Europe, like Spain and all that, contributing towards the modern gene pool. So it's either going to
Yeah.
diversify things, or it's going to create a different kind of bottleneck that's going to come up from these other countries, which are still leaders within the industry in some way or form. Because I feel like when it comes to the hash form of things, Spain and Europe and even Germany are doing a lot of shit that is like next level, which I got to give props to. Thailand's become like the new Cali of the world, where most of the weed being sold like internationally from point A to point B is Thailand. At a certain time,
Oh
it
yeah.
was Amsterdam, but then it shifted to California and maybe Oregon or Oklahoma. But now it's all gone back to Thailand. Like Thailand's the number one place for all the UK
Mm,
trappers to go and import all their like Cali weed, and I say Cali weed in quotes. Like all that Cali
yeah.
weed is just shit that's grown in Thailand, but probably the same genetics, but they're just being shipped from there to the UK because it's cheaper and you can buy so much more in bulk. And if anything, like
Yeah.
Thailand's like, if it wasn't for Thailand, India wouldn't have any of the modern strains that we have now today, like in terms of getting access to it. So, if the seed ban happens, yeah, I'm sorry, America, you're now cutting yourself off from the international market indirectly or directly. That's just gonna happen.
do
Mm,
you would you say like the laws that get implemented here kind of fractal out in like other places
Yes,
kind of copy?
yes, yes,
Do you think the
absolutely,
seed
bro.
ban law may reach to your
Not
government?
really. In India, I'll actually tell you guys something funny. The Indian laws when it comes to cannabis goes like this. So, in India, when they first, due to American pressure, in America was like, yo, cannabis is bad. You got to make it illegal, blah, blah, blah. And India was initially like, fuck you guys. This is our sacred plant. It's one of our five sacred plants. It's actually the plant that's consumed by our number one. I'm Christian, so I'm not really Hindu, but I'm going to speak on behalf of the Hindus. To the Hindus, then one of their top three gods is Shiva. You all know about Shiva. Shiva is the guy
Mm.
that's like known for smoking weed. And they're like, this is our God's number one God's plant. There's no way in hell you're gonna make
Mm.
us think that this is illegal. That's a load of fuckery. So India waited a few years and then they brought out the NDPS Act, which is known as the
Oh shit.
Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act or some shit. And they said
Yeah.
like cannabis is illegal, but only the fruiting tops, which is the buds, and the resin of the plant. That is 100% illegal. But the leaves and the stems and the roots of the plants is 100% legal. But this is the fuckery. In some parts, you can grow the plant, and as long as you don't get it to flower, it's legal. But the moment it starts flowering or you make it flower, it's illegal. Whereas in some parts, growing the plant is illegal. So it's kind of fucked up that way. And the seed ban won't really affect us no matter how much they try, because the only parts of the plant that are legal is the leaves, the stems, and roots, including the seeds. Like culturally, in all major parts of India, there are dishes and foods items that we crush cannabis seeds into and we eat it. If anything, it's like really, really healthy to eat weed seeds. Like I eat weed seeds on a daily. Like I got like a fucking kilo of weed seeds that I just like crush up and just eat it raw. And that shit is it's good. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't taste
the
nice,
complete
but it's
nutrition,
healthy.
bro.
Yeah, omega-3 fatty acids and all that.
Yeah,
bro.
the most perfect balance of omega-3 to 6 to 9. Yeah.
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 It's better than eating that ass tasting what is it, cod liver oil and shit like that, bro.
Yeah, I actually heard
Oh yeah.
someone the other day, like whenever they were younger, they would uh eat the seeds, and I never really, tried it myself or thought about trying it myself. And I'm glad that,
Do you
you
guys
guys
do you guys
you
do you guys have that myth that they say that if you smoke seeds or you eat seeds, you're gonna go infertile? Hello, guys?
oh, you there?
Hello?
Yeah, I was just asking, do you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
have
yeah.
that myth over there that says that if you smoke seeds or eat seeds, you're gonna go infertile?
Oh, what? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, well, that's a thing that's there in India, and it's just lot of
Mm.
hogwash.
Yeah,
Oh,
but yeah, what I did hear the other day about the complete sort of the most complete nutrient wise and the omega 3, like needs to be some sort of balance. I don't know exactly between
Mm-hmm.
the omega 3 amount 6 and 9, and
Mm-hmm.
wheat seed is the only known seed to fiber that has just the perfect ratios for humans,
If anything, not just
right?
for humans,
Uh,
Andrew, also for animals. Like what we
yeah.
do in India uh,
Oh,
before the
sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Americans came in and pushed us about and fucked with our drug laws. What we used to do is
Mm-hmm.
take parts of the weed plant that we used to just discard, like the stems, leaves, and seeds, and we used to grind it all up and feed it to animals, like livestock, cows, and shit like that.
Mm,
And it produces better
nice.
dung. It produces better milk. Um, there's a lot
Amazing.
more trace minerals and nutrients that you'd lose out on if you didn't feed it to the animals. But if you do feed it to the animals,
Mm,
the produce that you get from the animals, like the meat and the milk and the cheese and whatever, is 10 times more nutritious
yeah.
as compared to like being without.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
crazy.
That's
Yeah, I
amazing.
never knew that. And I hope your guys'
Yeah,
laws
same,
just stay
same.
simple, bro. Hope they stay simple and
Also,
you know,
also,
uh
Andrew, I hope, not Andrew,
Mm,
sorry, Mr. Smith, I hope we were recording this.
Yeah. Yep.
Just
Hmm.
just had a double check, broski.
I noticed Blue joined. What's up, Blue?
What's happening, guys? How you doing?
Ah,
I
Not too
snuck in.
bad.
hello, hello.
So
Yeah,
how you doing, bro?
I'm okay, bro. Just chilling. Just thought I'd join in and see who's around on the podcast today. And then I was just listening to the conversation.
Yeah, man.
Hello.
I appreciate you hopping on and taking the time out of your day to, join. And the door's always open. So,
Thanks, man.
yeah, bro.
So, what have you guys been up to?
We've just been bitching about shit in life, especially with the whole scene all over the world, Blue. If anything, you know how it is.
Well,
Yeah,
what
yeah. I
lot
mean,
going
what's
on? What
new,
about
man?
all these fucking crazy fires all over the place? That's what I've been watching, obviously, because I was in a fire, so I pay attention to these things.
Oh,
But
yeah, yeah.
Canada, man, fucking, and Europe is pretty crazy right now. France is insane fires. Spain insane fires. I don't know if you've seen it on in news in America, but it's fucking pretty crazy, man. Like nearly 250,000 people evacuated in France.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow. No, I
Blue,
have. Uh,
is it because of the fact that the weather's been quite hot in the UK and in Europe this year, or is
well,
it something else?
actually, as you mentioned, UK as well. We've even got active fires here as well in parts of the country that
Yeah,
are looking
a
big.
drought. Pretty droughty, right?
Yeah. Cairngorms has got a big fire. There's been a big fire in South Wales, and that's
Yeah.
other parts of Scotland. So yeah, big fires all over the fucking place, man.
it's fucking crazy. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know Canada burned like I don't know if they have fires kind of like
Canada's got nearly
California.
fucking bro. Canada's got like fucking 800 plus fires at the moment, currently, right now as we speak. It's
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
Blue, is the fires in the UK, is it happening in all the areas where there's traditional ag taking place, or is it quite random and spread out or whatever?
It's all the places you'd want to go in a fucking grid shutdown situation, when the shit goes down. Basically, they're burning it all out ahead of time.
Like Midlands or what? Near the south
Well,
or
anywhere, it's like a lot of the countries. Like I said, there's 10 different ones currently all over the country, here and there, like big in the open spaces, the countryside areas, really.
Mm.
Mhm. Like Oxford? I don't know, maybe
Yeah, it
Oxford.
must be south. Must be
Um,
south
Yeah.
more.
if you just Google active fires in the UK today, it'll come up.
Yeah.
But I know there's big ones in a big one in Wales, a few big ones in Scotland, and yeah, apparently there's 10. I was looking at yesterday. It said there's 10 active fires in the UK right now, but obviously it's a bit different to what's happening in Canada, where and Spain and France. It's like insane amounts of hectares being burned up.
Yeah.
I honestly feel it's just mainly traditional ag areas because the amount of land that they dedicate just for monocropping a certain crop is just like prime real estate for all these fires to just come through and fuck shit up. Like maybe if they can go about it in a different way where they have running water through certain parts of the land that's always constant. So there's always a little bit of moisture in between, and
Mm.
it's gonna like somewhat get in the way of all these fires. But the fact is, like I've seen certain parts of agricultural land in the UK, and also like I watched this series. I don't know if you guys follow. It's called Clarkson's Farm. Jeremy Clarkson has a farm kind of thing show.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I watched that shit, boy. It's good television, like amazing television. But that aside, I just saw that last year for the year 2025 was really, really dry and really, really hot. So he's got like
Yeah.
reduce yields in his crops, and
Yeah.
it's just like it doesn't make sense. Like if there's reduced yields in the crops, why wouldn't you want to like fight against it by like setting up some form of like irrigation which would counter that instead of having to depend on the fucking rains that come at that part of the year, like just as a
Mm.
failsafe.
I mean, I've been here for 20 years and I haven't seen like droughts like this, before, which I really enjoy because it's so sunny and stuff. But yeah, last year and this year, I'm following it because I'm catching the rainwater, and yeah, like month at the time or like 3x at the time, it's unthinkable like that there's no rain. Yeah, yeah.
I think there's a lot of fire in America as well in certain parts. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a fact, there's definitely fires going on in America as well.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why I knew about the Canada one was, because my mom up in Columbus told me about it, but I didn't know it was all over the world like that. And like,
Yeah,
I can't really um say I have a good eye on paying attention to the fluctuations in summers over the years, but I know I can say since I was a kid, you know, up until now, there's like, growing up, winters would be like up in Ohio, we get feet of snow. All right. Now
Mm,
we don't like, there's no winters anywhere. Like,
mm.
they're lucky to get a foot of snow some years anymore, sounds like. But
That's actually wild because I always think of
Mm.
Canada as whatever the fuck UK is, Canada's 10 times worse. Like if it's cold in the UK, it's really cold in Canada. And if it's warm in the UK, it's going to be really warm in Canada. I don't know. I noticed this trend because when I was on a Zoom group kind of thing, whatever the weather that was there in the UK, a few days later, that same weather would go over to Canada, but like a little bit more severe in Canada is what I've observed.
Interesting.
yeah, I mean, I never knew exactly what Canada gets, but I know like whatever we get down here in the Midwest, it usually goes up to Ohio within the next couple days or so.
Mhm.
Uh, so it's pretty cool, kind of
there's a lot
looking
of
at that.
there's a lot of Bigfoot up in Ohio, isn't there?
I, honestly, like I there's no Bigfoot signs or anything like that, but you definitely got people up there that believe. And
I hear a lot of stories about Bigfoot. Not stories, man, sightings. I would say because I'm totally fucking. Uh, but yeah, man, it's a big sort of Bigfoot hotspot. From
Yeah.
what I gather, all over America, man. It's up and down America. You've got that skunk ape down in Florida, which is like a bit of a smaller one of the sort of species, if you want to call it that. Seems to be around about 7 foot, 8 foot tops. Then you've got a lot going up more north through into Canada, like those big, like the black-haired gorilla, Sasquatch with that same color hair as like those black gorillas, and they're usually sort of like up to 9, 10 foot. I've seen some crazy videos of them, and then in Canada they seem to have a lot like the even bigger fucking red-haired ones, and I've seen some
And
massive.
then you got the Wendigo as well, Blue. I don't know if you heard
I've
about
heard
that.
about that, but I don't know about it, and I don't have proof of it in the same way as like
Yeah.
I've seen fucking like hundreds of Bigfoot videos now that are real,
probably fucking a wild experiment getting loose. They're trying to, you know,
I
came
don't
out
know.
of
It's
the lab
strange where
somewhere.
they came from. I don't know where they fit in, into the scheme of things. But I definitely, without, I believe in them as
Or
much as I'm
maybe
speaking to you now.
maybe it's just a hillbilly who's just like ran out into the woods and is covered in hair and you can't really recognize it as a human being and you're all
No,
like,
there's fucking
yeah.
thousands of them, man. It's not just like one or one
Yeah.
here and there. There's thousands of them. They're all over the place, up and down America, and all through, up
Mm.
from like down the bottom, right through up to Alaska, in Russia as well. But yeah, they're pretty cool. So I always ask people if they've seen Bigfoot, if I know they're from a Bigfoot area. But Ohio, there's a lot of like sightings up there.
Yeah,
Is
unfortunately, sorry to upset you, Blue, but I have not seen a Bigfoot.
And you know what? They emit like a stench, like a skunk, like in the same way as like a skunk emits a fucking stench. Like apparently these two too are able to, if they want to, or feel threatened, or if they want to like move you out the area. And all the people. So there's like podcasts like Bigfoot Society and Sasquatch Theory, and I like watch those a lot. So you see like genuine reportings like all the fucking time. And the the descriptions they give of what they smell like, it's like skunk, basically, the smells my plants give off. Like, it's crazy.
Blue, if anything, I've got like a name for a new strain from you. You could call it Bigfoot ballsack, you know? Like people would instantly get it. Stinks like a skunk and whatever.
Uh,
Sorry,
Yeah.
man, what was that name? I had to shut the window because the dog's being a cunt out
Oh,
there.
Bigfoot ballsack. You could call it Bigfoot ballsack is what I'd said.
Yeah, that's a good one, man, because I'm telling you, the descriptions are on point for lots of my plants. Lots of descriptions people give about my plants are exactly the same descriptions people are giving about Bigfoot.
Also, Blue, I've got to pick a bone with you, bro. Like, why the fuck did you send me Town tickets with a skunky variety that stinks like chicken shit? It's far